Just want to make a video demonstrating the mechanical aspects of this vintage and massive Aquadive diving watch. So this was the first electronic depth gauge diving watch that was made. The movement is an electronic movement. It's not a quartz, so it has a hairspring and a balance staff. Screwing crown, and then a hacking feature. The depth gauge is mechanical, and it utilizes what's known as a Bourdon tube. Now I'm going to caution, I do not recommend doing this yourself, because if there's hydraulic fluid left within the Bourdon tube and the seals and the gaskets are bad, when you do what I'm going to do next, you could blow hydraulic fluid all over your watch movement. It could get on the dial, and that would really be a bad thing. So what we have here is there's an orifice in the case. There originally would have been an inverted membrane, looks like a cap, that would be inside of this. Gasket seals and membranes just don't last 50 years on hydraulic systems. So the actual depth gauge does not work on these typically, and a lot of them have hydraulic fluid that damaged the watch. So fortunately that was not the case with this one. I did make sure that the hydraulic fluid was out of the Bourdon tube. Mechanically everything's intact. So the tube's intact. Actually the gasket and the seals are all really good. All of the levers and the pinions are also there. The one thing that's missing is the membrane that would cover the end here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate being underwater. I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure to the orifice so we can watch what happens with the depth gauge. Wait for my camera to focus. There we go. And you can see the depth gauge moves, and that's because I am simulating being underwater and the Bourdon tube being filled with hydraulic fluid. And what happens is the tube wants to straighten when it's under pressure. If you also notice that the time, where it says time depth underneath the gauge, is also intact and in very good condition. Typically that is not. So I just wanted to show how this would have worked. And you don't take expensive dive watches underwater anyway. I suppose if you wanted to, if you could find someone to craft, it'd have to be done by hand, and it would be custom, a new cap membrane to put over the end here. You could then fill the tube back up with hydraulic fluid using this screw, and you could take it underwater if you so desired. So in summary, a vintage Aquadive Model 50 time depth in 100% original condition. The dial is pristine, fantastic watch, and mechanically everything works the way it could. It's all complete. It just doesn't have the hydraulic fluid inside, but again, pretty much none do. Take care.